This is the painting that I did yesterday that I started thinking I would give it to a friend of mine. I was painting to send, or rather give to a friend who was moving yesterday. And I started with this. It's on hot press watercolor, it's like studio grade watercolor paper. And I didn't feel like I could finish it yesterday. I ended up doing starting a different painting, and that was on a block, and that went a lot better. I forgot I had wanted to eat breakfast. I just looked over and saw the bowl of my fruit. So this was breakfast today, and I just realized like, oh yeah, I wanted to. I got a little ahead of myself. Still need to eat my yogurt, and we got persimmon and avocado and guava from our garden. The persimmons and the guava are from our garden, and I got some blueberries in there. So eating off camera. Okay, so I thought it would be fun to maybe add some gold to this, and I'm really not sure how that's going to work just yet. Like I have sort of a loose vision of adding to this space here, or like kind of here. Just kind of a sort of loose sort of impression or illustration of light from the sky on the earth, these earthy sort of pieces here. So that's the plan ish. It's not much of a plan, but something. I have this piece of foil here, which I used last time. I haven't been doing a lot of foiling, and it still looks pretty good. Oh, so fine, it will just fly away with my breath. And actually, after doing some gilding, I went looking for like more information about how to do gilding, and learned a lot, and I feel so much more noob than I did before. Like, oh no, I'm getting like a good sense of like how much I don't know about this. But anyway, the foil I have, I'm gonna grab it and show you what I've got. So I got it on Amazon, of course. It is desiccant. Oops. It is a gold leaf that is a composite from copper. It is imitation gold. So not real gold. I would love to work with real gold, and that's something that I want to do with. I have a line of cards, and one of the style variations has black and gold. And I would love to do real gold for people who want it, but I also am aware of how little experience I have with gilding, period. So I may want to continue to work and practice and learn before I start working with real gold. So I'm happy to have this. This was apparently 100 pieces of foil are supposedly in here. To be honest, I kind of wish this was in a different kind of package. It's pretty difficult to get the sheets of foil out of this package, and then to put back anything is very difficult. It's like, it's just kind of, it's too tight. I wish it were a little easier, but I already have some foil up. So what I need to do is apply some glue and then I guess let the glue dry a little bit. I have been maybe a little impatient with the glue drying, but I think also not just impatient, I have maybe sort of misjudged how much water I need for the amount of glue that I have. I think it's supposed to be in like the 10 to 20% range of water to glue volume, and I have like, so it's really wet when I put it down. I don't know, it's probably like closer to like 30 to 40%, maybe even 50%. It's difficult to judge. So I'm gonna try to be more mindful today of how much water I have in my glue, so that it doesn't take as long to dry. And I don't know, I may even consider grabbing like a hair dryer to help the process along, because I don't want to wait, and I don't want you to have to wait, and we'll see how it goes. Could be nice to just like take a break and get up and walk and chat. I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, let's say hi. If you're here, I'd love to hear from you. And I'm going to, now I have some water. I have to get the glue, and I've got my foil. I have to take a bite of my breakfast. I really apologize. I really should have started and finished my breakfast before this, but I get so excited to start streaming. And I got my camera set up a little better this time. It's up a little higher. My tripod is not very tall, but it's got bendy legs, so it can hang on things. So that's what I did today. It's hanging on something to be a little higher and provide a better view. So in a moment, I'm going to get the glue, but for right now, actually, I want to send a link again, of course, so that my community know that I'm streaming, and invite them to join. Get my glue, take a bite of food, and nice bowl of fruit, persimmon and guava. Okay. Pardon me while I just send a quick message to my community about my streaming. Okay. My glue. So Here's the glue. I need to tap back into the window here so I can see. Okay. I got this on Amazon again. How good is it? I have no idea. It seems to do the job because it has put gold on other things like this. So that foil is on there. I'm not, I could probably scratch it off. Yeah, totally can scratch it off, but you know, this is definitely adhered to the glue. I wonder if I don't remember if I varnished it afterward or not. That's not coming to mind, I don't recall. Anyway, I was just kind of messing around with this. This is an oil diffuser. I like to put some, this is an oil that I like to diffuse like right before I start working. I gotta pick this up from Target, honestly. It's from Project 62. The product is called Protect, which is I liked because the idea with picking up an oil to diffuse, it's just to set like a time and space to focus on my work. And so the idea with the Protect, I was like, oh yeah, that's what I want to do, is like have some kind of ritual opening to my work that's bringing in an intention to protect that and hold that as I mean, the word sacred is coming to mind, but I think that's not quite communicating it. It's more about intentionality than anything else. It's like to hold this as the time for this. Because I actually I have two roles where I'm working where I live, so that's, for a lot of people that's a reality, and it is for me. I work where I live, so setting time apart in the space where I live and do so many other things is a challenge. To have like boundaries. So that's the idea, is like this idea of protection, holding boundaries for the things that are important to me. So anyway, I gilded this. Long story short, I gilded this sort of to elevate that intention to protect and to honor the spaces. Oh yeah, I love that word, honor. Honor the spaces that I create for the different things that I do within the same, like my little multi-purpose room here. So I gilded this. I'm not amazed with how it turned out, to be honest. I don't know what I need. I don't know why I don't like it. I don't know what needs to be different, but yeah, right now I just don't. And that's fine, I can still use it. But anyway, the glue works, that's my point. The glue works, and so that's all I needed to know from this product. Does it work? Yes, it does. Is it great? I don't know. I haven't worked with anything else. But it seems to adhere gold foil to things such as paper. This, I can show you. I have some of my designs here just adhere gold to paper. As you can see, I've worked with it before on paper, and I need to obviously I need to work on my technique. But anyway, there you have it. It works, and I can probably do it better in many different ways. Do it better. Okay, I'm putting this this way. I'm sorry if this is noisy. The paper is really crinkly. And I like this little envelope, but it's very crinkly. Okay. And just making so much noise. My glue. What is this? Here's the gilding adhesive. I've looked into more information about gilding in general. I'm fairly certain this is some really basic level stuff. It works. Is it like the most professional stuff? Definitely not. But I'm not there yet. So I like to take things slowly. I'm really interested in gilding. I really love aesthetically gold, especially with black. It's one of my favorite aesthetics. So I'm really interested in continuing to work with the gilding. Do I know if I'm going to do it long term? I have no idea. Or that I'll want to do like gilding in other places or things. I don't know. I can't say, but at least for now, I want to figure out how to do it well in the medium that I do it, which is on paper and apparently on random things around my desk. Taking a moment for a drink and to have a bite of my breakfast. I'm sorry that I did this before. I'm a fool. Okay. I thought I might do some more painting on this. Ooh, you know, I just had an idea. I kind of want to do a lot of gold. It's like all over this thing. And my video's lagging a little bit, but that seems to be okay now. Alright. Kind of just want to like with the gold. I'm thinking like starting to come to me now. I'm kind of wanting the blue to come through the gold. So maybe doing more gold than I thought I would before. And having like the blue peek through, which makes me think I might want to have more blue here. But I don't want to paint anymore. I think I'm feeling a little impatient today. There's something in me that's like wanting to see this finished because I've been looking at it since yesterday and it feels maybe a little bit uncomfortable with how like unfinished it is. So like just being aware of that in myself, like, oh, it's a little difficult for me to see things unfinished. And I get to feeling maybe a little impatient, wanting it to just get done. And maybe there's some danger there of doing things without fully considering how they'll turn out or what maybe the consequences might be, or doing things maybe not as intentionally as I want to. And not that there's anything wrong with that inherently, but that's not how I want to be in the world. I want to be in the world with as much intentionality as I can. So that really begins with myself and the things that I create and the things that I do in my personal daily life. So I want to be intentional in the work that I do. But as I was talking just now, I was thinking maybe what I would like to do is to have maybe it's too much. It's kind of obvious. Like, oh, I'll just put a big sun right here and have like rays. And I no doubt that would be really lovely. But I'm like a little bit. uncomfortable with doing obvious things. Um, I think maybe some part of me is maybe has like some aversion or maybe some judgment about doing something that's obvious. Like, I guess like that doesn't seem clever or deep, to me. And that's what of course, that's what I want. I want to be clever. I want to be deep. I want to be a deep person. So, and I think that's what it is. It's like, oh, that's too obvious. AKA, I'm judging this idea because I have this perception of who I am or who I should be. And that person that I am or the artist that I think I am or should be is deep. I'm deep. But and so that I guess that means that I can't do obvious things. But that's kind of bullshit, isn't it? It's just a judgment. It's just like some I don't know, there's some like false assumptions in there that are kind of unexamined. Anyway, here we are. I'm going to be doing some gilding soon. I have water. I have brushes. I'm thinking about how I want to put the sorry, I'm like smacking my lips directly into the mic. Here's my little glue pot. It wasn't supposed to be my glue pot, but it turned into my little glue pot. This was supposed to catch like pencil shavings and things like that, but now it's like super sticky on the inside. Thanks, glue. So this is the difficult part, actually. I don't really know how much glue I want to use. It's obviously not a very big, it's not a big pot of glue. And because I'm a broke artist, I'm always like eyeing my resources and my supply and trying to judge how much I should use, and feeling maybe slightly anxious that I don't use too much because then I'll run out, and who knows when I'll be able to get more, etc., etc. But the truth is, I have the money to get more if I want it. It's just conditioning. It's just my noggin saying things like, be careful, be careful, be careful. I have the money. Do I really want to, but I don't want to be wasteful. And that's the thing. It's a fine line, it's a balance. Like, I don't want to be wasteful. And I don't want to be anxious about it either. So, you know what I'm thinking is that I'm going to do the obvious thing. I'm going to do the obvious thing of putting a sun here in this corner. This seems like the obvious place to put it. And doing like rays of sunlight from this corner. I'm starting to feel a little sick about it. And it's not a bad thing. I just, I fear so much making bad art. That if I make something quote unquote not good or bad or whatever, that defines me as an artist and the value of my work. So this is me kind of trying to face that fear. Okay, I'm going to do something obvious, and it might turn out ugly, or it might turn out that it's bad, but what I really need to do to grow as an artist is to do the things that make me uncomfortable and examine why that is. Why does it make me uncomfortable? What is it about this thing that I don't like. And also, you know, making the bad art or whatever, the not good art, kind of moving through it, you know, like that also, you know, doesn't last forever. That I can make a bad piece of art and survive, you know, like it's not going to kill me, and it happens. But I'll learn things, and that's what's important. So even though I feel kind of sick about it, I'm gonna do the obvious thing and pick a sun in sort of element, object. I'm liking it more though. Like, I definitely see a horizon here, and this was not very intentional on my part. But that's the great thing about art, and especially when you kind of when I take a break and move away, just to come back to it later, I see different things. So I didn't see this like before. I didn't see this little horizon here, the horizon in the distance. I didn't really think of it that way when I did it yesterday, but there it is. And I see these objects here, and I wonder if I want to bring them forward into our middle ground, maybe. So I might be putting some light on these with the gold. We here. Anyway, my idea is to put a lot of gold. There'll be a lot of gold here, maybe a lot of gold here, and sort of maybe behind these objects, these middle ground objects, onto like the sort of landscape or horizon behind. And as for this, it's interesting. What I'm kind of seeing now, is not necessarily objects in the foreground, but this kind of making me think of like being able to see like a cross section of the earth, like under, like if you were to like, you know, take a shovel and dig, like just dig one like hole into the earth, and how you would see into the earth a little bit, not at the bottom, but on the side of the hole. So that's what I'm seeing here. It's that kind of like cross section. Okay, fun. I'm going to start getting my glue out and mixed. I'm getting a sense that I may want to have a lot of glue, but enough. Maybe more than I have used before. And this is, so I'm just opened this up. It's pretty thick glue, and I'm inclined just to take a big glob like this, like right off the lid here. It's kind of, I don't know, it's looking thicker than I remember. Anyway, well, let's get more. Let's go for it. Here we go. Now this is the insert from the lid. It just like comes right out, of course, because it's glue. It's stuck. It's sticky. I just want that to close. I'm gonna take a moment to get this water in here. Actually, I might have to bring this jar over here. We're gonna have a look. Check out what I'm doing. So I'm just going to take a few drops of water, kind of eyeballing the 10% water here. Maybe 1 or 2 more drops. Okay, let's see how that goes. I'm going to mix it up. It doesn't look like it would spread very easily. I want some more water. Okay, and it's like get all up in my brush, all up in there. You know what I need a napkin. Okay. I wish it wasn't so much in my brush. Just so I'm trying to like get it out on the side here. I'm gonna actually, I need to bring more water. See, this is how I ended up. How I end up with so much water, because I'm mixing it and it doesn't seem to be going so well. I want it to be able to spread, like, just spread out. I want to be able to spread it easily. So that's like what I'm looking for, is like, can I get this on the paper and be able to spread it well? And that's how I end up with really wet glue. And that's looking better. It's, again, I don't want it to be super thin and super wet, but I do want it to be able to spread with my brush. Okay. I have a lot on my brush, more than I really want to have, I think. Like it's all up in them bristles. Okay. I'm scared. I don't know what. I'm a little nervous about putting this glue on this painting. It's like, I don't know, because it's not like, you know, I'm not working on my masterpiece. This isn't anything very risky. Like, this didn't go to my friend. It's not going to go to anyone. In my mind, I'm not having this idea that this is supposed to go to anyone. That's when I start to feel like a little more risk, is when I have a plan to give a painting to somebody, or I'm painting something for someone. Then I start to feel a little nervous, because I really want it to turn out well. I want them to get it and you know, find it beautiful, cherish it, etc., etc. So I do start to feel like a little more nervous when I have an idea of mine to give the painting or paint something for someone. It's very vulnerable. It feels very vulnerable. So there we are. I think that looks like a really nice glue consistency. I'm thinking it's probably a lot more than 10 to 20% water, but it looks like something that I can really work with, and that's, I think, more important. Is it the right consistency for me? Is it what I can work with? So maybe that's just, you know, a piece of, not advice, but something to consider, is that, you know, product may say, oh, use this much, or do it this way, but ultimately, we have to really, you know, give that a try, of course, but be in touch with what our needs are, be in touch with like what we want, you know, how we want to work, what we want, and go with that. Go with our own wisdom. So this looks good. I like it. It moves. It doesn't move so much that I think it's going to get on the paper and just like spread out. But I can move it around with the brush. I can press it, you know, press the brush down and get the glue to move out. So that's what I do. That feels good. I want to try this light real quick and see how this goes. I'm not sure. I don't think so. That's weird lighting. I don't like it. I'm gonna try the blinds real quick. See if I can get a little bit more light to come in and work. Help me out here. Okay, so moving forward, even though I feel nervous, not that there's a lot of risk, but there's just something that gives me a little nervousness about going in and just blobbing. I think it's also because I just started learning how to do this gilding and learning how I want to use it. Freaky moment here. Okay, that wasn't so bad. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go with full sort of coverage. Oh, look, the glue is kind of pulling the color out of the paint here. That's interesting. I didn't expect that. I just maybe need to be mindful that happens. I think I'm maybe wanting to, big blob of paint there, or rather glue. I'm gonna just do some kind of like streaky. I don't have to be, you don't have to be perfect, Natasha. I don't. You really don't, sweetheart. It's okay. I'm gonna do some in here. I do want some of the blue to come through because it's pretty. I don't want like perfect rays. I kind of want something that looks maybe a little bit more irregular. And then what I'm gonna do is like add some, you know what, I think what I want right now is a smaller brush. And I need to put my computer just went to sleep. I need that awake. Wake up, computer. I'll go back to work. There we go. Okay. I want a smaller brush in this moment because now I feel like this is gonna get a little more finer detail. Not that I can really tell what the hell I'm doing. That's kind of maybe like some part of why gilding feels like a little scary is because putting the glue on, I don't get this like immediate sense of how it looks. Like I still have another step. So it feels like a little, it's a little bit of a mystery. I'm still in a big kind of, I don't know how this is gonna turn out. And that's okay, but it feels a little uncomfortable. begun. If you're here and watching, thank you. And I would love to hear from you. Say hello in the chat. Say hi. I'd love to see you. Okay. I get a little worried about using my brushes for this glue. I don't want to damage the brushes, but I may not have to really concern myself with that so much. The glue is a water base, which is why I also use water to dilute it. Okay. The glue is going on a little thicker than I want it to exactly. That's alright. I just maybe want to go a little slower, maybe. Take my time to maybe be a little more intentional about this. So notice that my glue has gotten really kind of thin. This is what happens. And then later I'm going to be really annoyed at how long it's taking to dry. But that's okay. I'll survive. So what I'm doing now is putting some glue down and some streaks on just kind of like the background horizon, and letting that take greater shape as like a horizon, a sort of landscape. This is very interesting. I really have not done anything like this before. So this is cool. I'm enjoying how, like, just putting the glue on, I can start to see these circles, the gray circles, the neutral circles there, come forward in the painting. Of course, like, I kind of anticipated it, but didn't expect it at this stage where I'm just like getting glue in. But I'm seeing them sort of pop out more, and I'm really liking it. So I'm happy about that. I kind of want to put some gold on them to give them like a sense of being backlit a little bit. Like the sun is definitely coming from behind. And then there's this object here, and I don't know what to make of it. I think it could be something like a tree, but it's also more in the foreground. So I need it to also experience the light in some way that's consistent. Oh gosh. Maybe not there. Maybe right here. This is so much fun. I'm having a good time. Yay. Okay. So I was noticing the glue is starting to dry. The glue will get like tacky, but it won't dry out. From what I noticed, it doesn't dry out. It becomes tacky and then just remains like sticky. Even in my little pot where it's been, for days, I can put my finger in there and it'll still be kind of sticky. So I don't really worry about the glue drying so much that I can't use it. There's not really a concern about that at all. So I'm gonna put some gold down here. Why in the heck not? Yeah. why not have some glue here? We've got this sort of edge of this watercolor, this orange, this earthy color. We put it on the edge here. Again, I don't really want it to be, I want to have some like irregularity here because, you know, there's nothing particularly regular about this painting. It's got a lot of irregularity in it. So I'm gonna, here's I've got a shape here that I want to add some dimension to. Got some light coming in from the back and here also. Maybe here, here-ish. Okay. And then you know what? I want to put like little bits of gold in these holes, these little circles here. And we got gold from the sun, but we also have gold in the earth, don't we? So I'm gonna have to get up and go potty soon. My bladder is talking to me and saying, hey, so that green tea you had will surely need to make an exit. We are done with it. Thanks. And it needs to go. Okay, I really like this idea of having like these veins of gold and this sort of earthy cross section that we've got here. I think we're gonna have a big golden nugget there. There we go. Maybe like this. Yeah, that we have, you know, the gold that comes from the light that shines external to us, right? Like the sun is up in the sky, shines its light, and it shines a golden light onto all the, you know, the material world. And by that light, we're able to see the earth, all the things that are part of creation, the world, reality. And that's such a, without the sun, we really would have nothing. We'd have nothing without the light. And we have a light that it comes from within. Like there's gold inside the earth, and it's not exactly shining like the sun does, but it can reflect light to the effect that, you know, it's brilliant. It has a luminous quality to it that really impacts people. You know, we really love the sight of gold. Because, you know, it's beautiful and it's brilliant, and the color gold, the gold is associated with the sun for a reason, because it has the ability to enrapture us in a way, kind of wish I had gone in here with a thinner brush earlier on. That's okay. I'm doing it now and I'm enjoying that. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I think, is put the brush down, relieve my bladder, and come back for the gold. I'm going to put the gold on in just a moment. So, if you're here watching me, I really hope you stick around. We're going to put the gold on next and see how it turns out. I really honestly don't know. I'm excited for it. I think it's going to at least be interesting. But I'm very curious how it'll look. And I hope you are also. And if you're here enjoying, stick around, but also say hi. I'd love to hear from you. I'm going to take a quick bathroom break, come back in just a moment. So please bear with me. Can I mute myself? Let's see if I can just turn off the sound. Okay, so I'm back. That was a quick break. I hope it was quick for you. I'm done with this glue, I think, for now, at least. I'm going to maybe need to wait. See if you can see this. Here, there's still, no, this still looks pretty wet there. I apologize about the light that's coming through my window. It's really the best I can do. Maybe in time I'll be able to get like a proper light for streaming. You can kind of start to, you can see a little bit where I've got the glue down. And there are parts that are still a little bit wet. Just want to be mindful maybe to let that dry a little bit more over here. But it's looking okay up in this area. And this is where I started, so it would make sense that this may be okay to go get on it. I'm noticing there's a part that I want to put some, it's good. It's good to have another look at something and say, oh, actually, I'd like to have some gold up in here. Not much, doesn't have to be much there. Maybe in here. Oh, maybe right here, just behind that object. Okay, Gosh, I hope this turns out alright. I mean, how else is it gonna turn out? It'll be alright no matter how it looks. I'll have learned something. It's nice that I can just like move this around to see where the glue is at and where I might want to put some more. Okay. That's enough, I think. I'm feeling impatient. I just want to do this thing. Okay, cleaning the brush off just one more time. So notice, yeah, although the glue doesn't dry, it does get really, it gets tacky, and then I do think it gets kind of like gummy, and I don't want to ruin these brushes, even though they're not exactly high quality brushes. They're still what I got. I want to care for them. Care for what I have, regardless of how much they cost me, their, you know, value, quote unquote. They're what I've got, and so it's imperative on me to care for them. So, time for the gilding. This is the gilding foil that I've got. The gold foil. It's difficult to keep this sort of smooth. It's not smooth at all. The foil it's got a texture to it. It's quite a fine texture, but it doesn't come smooth. It's a very fine texture in the foil. So yes, you can see it's so fine that it is moving around with my breath. Be careful. But yeah, had I put it away or something, I might have cared for the edges of it a little better. I'm not really sure what to do about this. Like in the future, I might not reuse a sheet of foil like this. Like all I did was use like the corners here for the last piece I did. And I might not reuse a piece of foil. Like I might put this in a box for, I don't know, maybe creating flakes or something like that in the future instead, and maybe use a new piece of foil for a new piece of art. But today I'm not doing that. I'm going to use this because it's here, just to see how it turns out and work on technique and stuff. So I'm going to take this foil and move it onto my, see, I gotta make a little more careful. This is challenging. So as you can see, it's very easy to tear. It moves around so much, especially when I'm talking. Maybe the best thing I can do for me in this process is not talk. I'll just do this. Okay. I really gotta figure this out. I don't know quite. You know, I've seen people, they like will cut their foil before they lay it down. That's maybe a good idea. Actually kind of like the gold in different textures. So I've got the gold on now, the foil's down, and I'm just gently brushing it down onto the adhesive. I am amazed at like how challenging working with this medium is. It's actually it's a little bit funny. Like I thought watercolor was challenging, and it is. And I don't know that that's really fair to compare them. It's, you know, water doesn't, color doesn't fly away when I breathe. It doesn't fly away. It stays put. Okay. I am going to try to start removing some of the extra stuff there, but I actually would like to right now, before I do that, maybe just start getting the gold in the other places too. There. And possibly I can like remove this. I don't know, maybe I can't. Still figuring it out, guys. I am learning as we speak how to do this at like a beginner level. Please do not take what I'm doing to be like professional level gilding or any kind of having a lot of experience. I don't. This is very new for me. Very, very new. And fun, but very new. I'm enjoying learning something so different to me. I want to come in here and, of course, put it down as much as I can, but also I want to start revealing it. That's what it is. I want to look. I want to see what it looks like now with the gold in place. So there's part of me that's feeling like a little impatient. I want to take it away. I want to see, reveal it. What does it look like now? What does it look like? Okay, but I still have a lot of glue here that I can put this down on. I'm seeing I've got like just a lot of different textures going on, which again, not inherently bad. Not, I don't know if it's something that I want or not at this point. I'm still discovering what I want with my gold work. And that's, that's part of it. Part of this process that you're watching is me learning about what I want in this, with this. Interesting. And that feels kind of vulnerable in a way, like to be witnessed to some degree in a process of discovery of what is it that I want with the gold, with this work. Seeing like I guess I didn't get the glue to come all the way to the edge, which I'm a little like, I don't think that's it. I don't think that's what I want, but we'll see how it turns out. You know what I can do if it's not what I want? I can put more glue. I can put more glue and more gold. This is kind of cool so far though. I like it. Okay, though I hope I can move this to another spot. It's like easy to tear and hard to tear at the same time. Okay. Gently, gently. Okay, I guess that's good enough. I'm so glad this isn't real gold. That's like something like I can really take a lot of comfort in right now. It's not real gold. What a mess. So grateful that this is, not that, I'm inclined to waste any of my materials, but I think that would feel not so happy for me to be kind of seeing so much gold being like real gold, treated very haphazardly in a way. So it's interesting. I thought I put some glue down over here, but I'm not seeing any gold stick there. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. I have a bunch of glue down here that doesn't have gold on it yet. I really would like to apply gold there. So maybe I can pull some pieces here. It just tears right apart. And there's a lot of glue. Maybe I'll pull out another sheet and apply that sheet there. Down there. I am gold foil. It makes a legit mess. It is a hot mess over here. Gold foil. It's like all over my desk too. It's all over. So here's my gold foil. It's separated by these little tissues. You can see I am going to pull out this one on top because I need more. I'm a little uncertain. Oh, I tore the side. Need to be more careful. I'm a little uncertain because I realized like I have like glue in all these little spots, and I could do it in a different ways, like lay the gold down. Like I could just cover it to get the foil on everything, but then I'll have to brush it all away, and I think there'll be a lot to brush away. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, it's just I'm a little mindful of waste. I don't want to waste my materials, frankly. That would hurt my heart a little bit. At least that's what I think. It's what I anticipate, and I don't like my heart to hurt. So I try to be mindful of potentially hurting my precious little heart when I can avoid that. I don't have to hurt my heart. I prefer not to, much like anybody else. So how to get there's so much of a mess. And this is totally what it's like to be in like new territory for me. I can feel just so vulnerable about like what a mess I'm making. I think I can maybe it feels like there's like a big part here that's not glued down, and that's because I don't have glue there, and I would love to be able to just move that piece of gold foil to an area where there is glue, but I can't. It just tears and it just doesn't really work. Doesn't work out that way. That well. So I notice, I'm not quite sure if this happens or not, but when I like tear a piece of gold, off like this, you know. I feel the resistance of the adherence to the glue, and and possibly I might be removing the foil from the glue, and I really can't tell, to be honest, if that's happening or not. And I'd like to know, because I don't want to remove any of my gold from my foil, or from my glue. I want it to adhere and stay there, rather than move. Oh, see, like that definitely was glued down there. Damn it! Oh, oops. My computer went to sleep again. I don't want that. Okay. If you're watching, please say hello. I want to hear from you. How's this going? How are you? And what are your thoughts about what's going on over here? What do you think? Are you enjoying watching me figure this out? You know, what I might need to do is just like put this on, brush it on, and then just like leave it there. I wish it had gone all the way to the side there. So I see like where it's getting stuck because there's glue there. So instead of trying to pull it away, I'm just gonna brush it away. I think that's the best thing that I can do. Otherwise, I think I just pull it off the glue. You know, I want it to fully adhere. I don't want to remove it from the glue. I think there's a danger, or I think that's what happens when I try to tear it away, that it actually just pulls off of the glue. And I don't want that. I want it to stay. So I'm gonna have to just brush it away, and there's a lot of mess and maybe way more waste that I'm very comfortable with, but like we can't have everything we want, I guess. Basically, can't always get what you want, but if you try sometime, you get what you need. Oh, I feel glue up there on my thumb. You get what you need, and maybe I'm getting what I need here. There's no glue there. Alright, continuing to brush away this gold. And it's cool. I love it so far. Like, let me actually like just take a moment to appreciate seeing the gold revealed in these spaces down here. Beautiful contrast with the watercolor, this particular color here, this very rich orange, red. I love it. Looks so cool. I'm just going ham here. Oh, I breathe. Oh, it's awesome. I love it. That looks great. Oh my goodness. I'm like being a little more rough than I expected to be here to get this off. And I see maybe some gold was removed from the glue down there, but that's maybe just fine. What I'm gonna do now is just like try to remove as much as possible and check it out. See, I get really nervous about this and process stuff, but you know, there's a moment to let go and just let it happen. Just let the movement go, and oh, I love it so much. Okay, let's shake this off a little bit. How gorgeous is it? Okay, I definitely feel the glue in places where there isn't gold. So there's like some glue that didn't get gold adhered to it. I see maybe some spots where I had some some glue and there's no gold there. So that means either I didn't fully apply the foil. It's possible that I just didn't fully apply. And or the foil was removed. Maybe like because I didn't do it correctly. I didn't not apply it, like remove it correctly. Okay. So there's some things going on that I wasn't really expecting to see. And that is maybe like some thicker parts of this. Like I don't think I wanted some of this here. And it could be that I just need a finer brush to pull this off here. So like right here. And here, right? Yeah. So something to consider in the future is when there's like finer detail gold work, it might need to get out like a finer brush to get in between and pull this apart. What a mess. You see this? Such a freaking mess all over my desk. Fun though, you know, like, I guess I feel a little bit self-conscious when I make a mess. Because I like to think about myself as a clean sort of person. I like cleanliness, I like tidiness, it brings me joy. And I think there's just something, yeah, there's also like a sense of vulnerability when things are not clean and tidy and orderly, that I start to feel like, oh, I am, you know, not clean, not tidy, and what are people going to think of me? Oh no, what are people going to think? So there's a lot of like stuff to clean up here on, like there's these edges of the gold foil that haven't been brushed away yet. I'm sorry, I'm not being super mindful of showing you like what I'm doing. Please forgive me. There's, see, I don't know if you can tell here, but there is like a section, I think there's this section here that's not glued down but hasn't been removed by the brush. So there's lots of that all over. And there's things like parts of the piece where there is glue, but no, it didn't get foil adhered to it. And so I need to, I guess, maybe consider whether or not I want to go back in and apply more glue and do more foiling. Do I want to do that? Or is it okay as it is? Like, it could be. It could be just fine just to leave it as it is. One reason why I might consider going in and trying to refoil is because basically the glue, although it didn't get gold adhered to it, has adhered, I don't know, it looks like dirt or something like that, from I think the brush. Look at my hand. So it looks dirty, and I don't like that. I don't want my painting to look dirty. I want it to look, clean and finished, just like anything else. There's another section here where, what can I do about that? I notice things like this. Got an eye for detail. There's a part here where there's no glue, but I couldn't get gold to brush away, and I want that to be there. Okay. So, decisions. I have to make decisions about. So anyway, okay. This is what it looks like for now. No, you see it like I do, because I made my camera do that. Here we are. Have a look with me. So there are definitely parts where I haven't gotten all the foil to brush away, the loose foil. My gosh. Such a mess. And it's like all over my lap too. Such a mess. So I'm noticing some things. Yeah, there's some parts, like I see in here, where I did put down glue. I can see the glue there, and there's no gold that adhered to it. And then there are parts, like right here, where there's glue and only like a little bit of glue adhered. And I don't like that for some reason. In part because it kind of looks a little dirty, being honest here. And there's something that looks kind of incomplete about it too, which, as you may have heard earlier, is a little uncomfortable for me. So there's a question there that I have of like, can I be okay with something being kind of incomplete, or do I need to go in there and finish it? Anyway, I guess in this moment I really want to appreciate some things that have turned out well, in my opinion. Overall, the composition of this piece is pleasant. I am pleased with it. Overall, it is, if there's a balance to it that I really, it pleases me. I really like this sun element, the shape of it. I like its irregularity. I enjoy its irregularity and the character of that irregularity is unique to maybe this medium. Irregularity in the gold foil looks different than irregularity in watercolor. So, but they have a way of sort of balancing each other that I'm appreciating right now. So there's that. I think, yeah, and then I really like gold and orange and sort of pinkish space down here. The colors are really lovely together. Wish I had a little more light in here to really fully take that in. There's some things that, like this space in here is a little bit weird for me. I want to contemplate it a little bit more, like why? I think I kind of want to maybe put more gold up in here. And this section in here looks messier than any other part of the painting, which, again, not inherently bad, not necessarily bad, but can I leave it that way is the question. Am I comfortable leaving it that way? Sorry, I need to make sure that's on camera. Can I leave it that way? Is it satisfying as it is? Wish it would have flipped. Yeah, I don't know. Again, overall composition I like. There's certain things in this area that are a little uncomfortable for me, and that's not, again, necessarily a bad thing. But what that means, whether I set this down and say, okay, this is done or not, it's not really clear to me at this point. Like, I kind of want to keep working, but I'm not entirely sure how or what I want to do. I think I might want to add more gold behind these neutral circle shapes to bring them forward more. But I'm back. And I am wanting to work on this a little bit more. Putting some more gold in places where I wanted it before and where I want it now. Both. So this is going to be maybe some finer details here. Using a thinner brush to get the paint and, sorry, not the paint, but the gold down. So I just put my finger in the glue. So you can see where I put the glue a little thicker than before, and I'm kind of interested in layering the foil on top of itself. Wonder how that would work. So I'm going to give that a try. A little bit of that. It's interesting, like because of the water content and the glue, it's kind of beading. It's beading a little bit on top of the gold foil, which not ideal for layering. Definitely not. I really kind of like this like really irregular edge here and here, but I want this to extend all the way to the edge here. I want to see it layered, but I don't know that I'm going to be able to do that unless what I could do is maybe not just go straight from the pot of glue. Let's see if that works. If I can just apply some glue here. It's very thick, but might be able to provide the effect that I want. We'll see. So maybe while like the thinner paint might, or not paint, I keep calling it paint. The thinner glue might be good for applying to paper surfaces or porous surfaces. Not so great for non-porous surfaces like metal or maybe like glass or something like that. So I'm kind of adding some rays from the sun within the sun element or object. The sun object. And this is with paint, like glue straight from the pot, undiluted. I do have some diluted glue from earlier still, which I'm applying to the paper. That seems like the correct thing to do that will actually get, be able to spread the glue on the paper. It seems to need a little bit of water. I want more rays in this area. More rays here. Here. Coming from the sun. I really want to bring out these neutral elements a little better. You can't really quite tell that they're there. Just bring them to the foreground a little bit. I'm sorry if you can hear the, I don't know, what is it, leaf blower or lawnmower. Sounds like a leaf blower out there, outside my window. There are birds too, but mostly you can hear the leaf blower. I hope that's not bothersome for you. I hope you can hear me. I tend to speak softly, although I can speak loudly too. I tend to speak softly. And that's my style, I guess. It's not necessarily soft-spoken, so to speak, but enjoy the softness of my voice and my presence. Presentation feels like a quality of not who I am, but my embodiment in the world. I getting more excited about this, adding more gold in sort of the background horizon. I'm hopeful that this is going to give the effect of the neutral objects being a little more close to us. But who the heck knows? Really, we're gonna find out. And learn along the way what works and what doesn't work. So putting lines in the background. Oops. Around, behind these neutral sort of objects. So that we see them as distinct, or more distinct. I hope they appear more distinct. We shall see. Okay. When will I be done? When will I be satisfied? That's always the question for me. When is it enough? When will I be satisfied? When will I have had enough? When is the work done? Oops, I went a little bit over, and maybe I wanted to. Okay. I might give this a few minutes to dry a little bit. Check out oops, that's a lot there. But I kind of like this part where it's not very solid. But I want to make this really solid here. I want there to be a solid piece of gold on the side. And over here. I want kind of like a distinct edge in some way. I really love this part because the colors for me are very striking. Okay. hesitant to add any more gold in this area. Did some like little patching here, but yeah, don't. It's just kind of a pain in the. Some of it is because it's kind of a pain in the butt. And also, I just want to be mindful of putting too much. You know, it can kind of overwork something too, right? So I want to be careful about doing too much, because not because it's wasteful necessarily, although it can be, but because it would be really difficult to remove anything that was like too much. Essentially, it would be hard to take the gold foil off. I would have to scratch it or something, and just what a pain in the butt. I don't want to do that. Once it's like glued down, it's on there. Unless, you know, I accidentally remove it with just like pulling it. I can pull it off, well, and that's quite by accident. I don't want to do that. And it usually happens because I'm impatient and I'm trying to remove foil to another area, and I'm trying to kind of like make it tear away or pull it, and it ends up coming it removes it from the, can remove it from the glue, the adhesive.